Hi guys, EifosArt here and welcome to this video. In this video I'll be doing a demonstration of this Rottweiler in pastel pencils. The paper I'm using is Pastelmat from Clairefontaine and the color is anthracite. The pencils I'm using is Stabilo CarbOthello pencils and Pitt pastels from Faber Castell. Also, I am terribly sorry about this crooked angle. The drawing was too big to film with my normal camera holder, so I had to be creative and come up with this solution of filming from the side. But I think you can still see what I'm doing, and I guess that's what matters. One of the things that made me fall in love with pastels and really intrigued me to try them out is how fast they are compared to many other mediums. This drawing is pretty large and it took around 7 hours, compared to colored pencil that's way faster. And even though I love working in colored pencils, the working time can be a big minus that's keeping me and I think a lot of other artists from starting big projects like larger drawings, because it can easily end up in 100+ hours. The way that I work in pastel is I lay down a base where I just block in my darkest colors. And much like working in oil paints, with pastels you can go over the dark areas with a lighter color. So what I do is I block in my dark areas and then I gently go over them with a lighter color to create the illusion of fur. Another awesome thing about pastels is it's so easy to get your things to look soft. So if you're doing a background, creating a blurred background is incredibly easy and not very time consuming. Also his ears and the neck here I made a bit softer and not as detailed, and just blending it a bit with your fingers, or you can use a blending stump or the soft tools that I'm using, will help create a much softer look. And just like with any other medium, when you're drawing fur, remember to follow the direction of the fur and also the length. Rottweilers have pretty short hair, so you see me using very short fur strokes pretty much all over the place, but especially on his muzzle. Normally I like to jump around a lot and not finish one segment at a time. I felt like that was necessary when you work in pastels because they smudge very easily. Also, I would recommend, if your table is not tilted and you are resting your hand against the table, to put something under your hand. You can either use glassine or a tracing paper or perhaps some printer paper. The best is of course to use glassine, as nothing will stick to it, but not everyone has that lying around. Here on his muzzle I used the same technique of going from dark to light. So I started by putting down some dark brown and some black, and then going over it with lighter browns, a white and some light yellow. As you can see, I work from left to right, and this is to avoid smudging the project as I'm working. And as soon as I'm done with the top of his muzzle, I begin working on his mouth. And here I began with the tongue because that was the lightest area, so it's nice to have that down just to figure out how dark I should make the rest of the mouth. All these wet glossy areas are pretty difficult to achieve in colored pencils, and I must say doing this in pastels was a joy. You could easily overlay colors over the dark and make it look wet and glistening. The main challenge when drawing tongues are getting them to look soft and velvety and not plasticky and wet. So I build up my layers slowly and glazing with a very light touch when I'm creating my lighter areas so that they don't look too bright and it still has a soft look. I didn't get this on camera, but when I started working on his neck, I basically created a thin layer of black and then darkening it up, and once I was ready to work on the neck, I glazed very lightly with some lighter gray colors on top. it was important for me to get the neck to look a bit more soft and blurred out so that the focus was on the dog's face. So as you can see here, I'm just building it up slowly and then tying in some of that light blue I used in his face as well, just to make the piece come together and look very vibrant and alive. And that is pretty much it for this piece. Here is the finished drawing. I hope you liked this video and maybe you learned a few things. If you did, please don't forget to comment, like this video, and maybe subscribe so you won't miss any videos. I'll see you later. Bye!